From the launch, we obviously had a big spike at the start. It was kind of just like spikes throughout the year. It was a pretty strong trajectory. We were able to build up to 1,000 members over the first 12 months. So I think we've rebuilt our platform 3 times already. Like every time I've got to it, we've released it. We're like, this is the best thing in the world.
Welcome to the podcast, man.
Mate, absolutely. I'm ecstatic to just be talking to you again, man. It's been so long.
I know, man. I know. It's been too long. So for context for the audience, me and Zach go way back. We've been friends for years. He's building a info product empire in Australia. I'm moved over to Asia, but he has a ton of value, a ton of experience, a ton of knowledge, a ton of energy, a ton of stuff that's going to be sick. So man, I'm keen to jump in what's been happening with you guys over the last year, but give us a rundown, kind of, give us the highlight reel story of your journey in the info product course education space.
Yeah, so we started a COVID baby. So this was born out of COVID, as so many businesses were. It was essentially myself and a few boys. We caught up at a dog park because I was the only place we could catch up over COVID. And look, we were all sort of trading at the time, and we kind of just wanted to create a bit of a group where we could start to share ideas. It wasn't really ever meant to be anything like community based at the time. It was just like, all right, let's just put our heads together and just, rather than one person doing all the work, and let's try and put a few heads together and see how that can benefit all our sort of researching and the efforts we're putting into it. So we just started doing that, and we created a Instagram page off the back of it. We actually just started sharing our insights, and we actually started building a bit of a following as well off the back of that. So we started seeing this traction, and then we just sort of sat down together one day, and we're just like, this is working well. All of us sharing ideas. We're picking things up a lot quicker than what we ever have. We're across a lot more opportunities than we ever have been as well. Let's see if we can bring this maybe to the world, or let's just see what we can do with it. So we continued building the Instagram. We just started building a course as well, and so we started putting that together, putting it up on a platform. That sort of was like 6 months in the making. We launched early 2021, not really expecting that much. It's just going to be a bit of a side hobby, right? And then on day one, we had about 300 people sign up to our platform, so we've got a subscription model there. So it ended up I quit my job, resigned on the first day. Probably got a little bit excited. Yes.
Yeah. Nice. How much? If you're allowed to share, so 300 students on that first day. What was the price point? Kind of, what was the number where you're like?
Yeah, so we hit over 6 figures on our first day there. So
man, quit that job, eh?
Yeah, I was just we're onto something good. Bull market,
shit, man, that's it.
My investing was going well as well, so I was just like, it gave me a bit more confidence to kind of make that plunge.
100K in 24 hours, man. That's wow. Sorry, 6 figures, man. That's incredible. So beyond that initial launch, you had that killer day. I've kind of been following you on the journey to building this out. Tell us, about the next 2 years, kind of.
Yeah. So I guess after that, we sort of it was just around really cultivating a community. It was very much a community led platform. Like that was the biggest thing. That people loved about what we did. The courses. Once I did the courses, and we obviously provided ongoing research for people, but really getting in and having people that they could, I guess, that like-minded community of people who were sharing similar goals and objectives, and also sharing ideas and insights as well. So I kind of took what we were doing on such a small scale during COVID with just 4 of us, and now built it out to where we're able to have hundreds of eyes on the market.
Yeah. So it's like we'll go into it deeper, but it's really kind of like what you guys were nerding out about in a certain circle, where it's like, this idea and adding value to each other. It's like, okay, can we 10, 100, 1,000x this with, the hive mind?
The hive mind, yes.
If you remember that for context, we go off the rails here, but man, we just need to get that VSL live. This was like 2 years ago. I know things changed. We're working on this like sick VSL. We came up with the craziest hook, was ready to shoot. We didn't end up shooting it, but that would have been a banger. We spoke about the kind of crypto hive mind of everybody kind of trading together.
Mate,
It's a great
that
idea.
was that was an absolute bomb of a VSL, man. You killed
Who
that.
knows? Yeah, yeah.
I still think we're gonna revive that.
We have
With
to, man.
few adjustments just with the
Definitely, definitely.
new name, but
Yeah, and the
yeah,
bear
mate.
market as well. So,
Yeah, not a good time to
anyway,
launch.
so tell me around what you've been doing. The last kind of year. So
Yeah.
growing this community. How have you been growing the business? What products and services and support have you been adding? Kind of, and what's the
Mm.
roadmap? Yeah.
Yeah, so oh man, it's been an interesting year and a half. I think you know a little bit about it, but
Mm.
we obviously had an amazing first year. Things were awesome. We ended up having a bit of a split with one of our partners because there was originally four of us, and so
Yeah.
that sort of shook things up a little bit. There was a bit of uncertainty with the direction of the business during that time. So yeah, obviously we got hit with a bear market as well. So yeah, we launched in a bull market, which is awesome. Everyone's making heaps.
Crypto we're talking about, right?
Crypto,
Yeah.
stocks as well. Is what we do. So yeah, look, when that bear market came, when the markets turned, there was less money flowing around the whole markets. There's less attention. People, some people weren't able to take profits in time, and so it kind of dies down. It's natural. It happens with market cycles. So we had to really prepare for that because we kind of launched in a bull market, and now it's like, all right, how do we prepare this business for and this community for something that's ready for a bear market? So that's what we've really been building. We're now in a multi-year essentially bear market. So yeah, it's just around giving people, because the best times to learn, right, when when in these sort of times when the markets are sleeping, when
You're not
everybody
gonna
else
miss
is
out.
quiet.
Yeah.
Yeah, like you don't want to be ideally learning on the fly because
Mm.
things are just so quick, so rapid, and
Interesting.
like
Yeah.
it's a lot easier to make mistakes in that time. So like these times of the market, literally the best time to upskill yourself, because you can then come into, you're then prepared, right? When the markets are ready to take off again, you're already set. You've invested in the right places. You've got your right strategies. You're ready to take profits, and
Sick.
you're not going to be erratic and
Yeah.
trading based on FOMO.
Interesting. Well, I want to zoom into a really interesting point you've seen, because we've seen this, in the courses that we launch around these kind of, societal trends, right? Okay, crypto is trending. Okay, now AI is trending. Now, whatever trend is happening in the industry. I'm curious, how has the product and the messaging changed from crypto's crazy, man, everybody get involved, to now, where it's a bear market? What have you done to be able to make sure that you're still kind of attracting and retaining people when there's not that much hype?
Yeah, good one. So one of the biggest things, right? Like one of our huge drivers during a bull market. So just to clarify, bull market is when things are, the market's 20% above where it usually is, and a bear market's pretty much after a 20% or below drop from where it usually is. So that's a very brief description of that, but just so you understand what we're talking about here, these periods can last for 1 to sort of 3 years. Now, so during that bull market where everything was going really well, our product was very much driven by more research and more signals. So when to buy, when to sell, obviously the community. Take it back to a bear market, there's less opportunities. There's a lot more risk involved in doing those sort of things as well. So we really wanted to tone that back, and we put more of a focus on content around, safety, management of funds, around strategies, around risk control, around just being able to help people understand what they're investing in. So it's kind of just been more of an education and research push rather than a signals and hype sort of push. So more of a sustainable play, preparing people.
Yeah, and in the early days, so you said you released your kind of like course, info product community for $1,000. How did you get it to the point, where you could charge $1,000, right? A lot of course creators think that, $1,000 is a lot of money. It is, it is. But how are you guys able to kind of create a product that people still pay $1,000 for? Do you
Yeah, so I think it's yeah, people definitely want to see bang for buck, to be able because we've got a
think?
recurring model obviously as well, so it's not a
Yeah.
once off. So you get that
So
point as well. Like
so it's
people,
$1,000 a year. Is that your
well,
recurring
yeah,
model?
it's now we do have that as a yearly model. We've also got a monthly model as well. So $80 a month or
Cool, cool,
120
cool.
or yeah, 900 or 1200 depending on what package they get. So um once again, I'm playing around with a new model idea, so that's all
Mhm.
happening in the background. But we'll talk to this one. So yeah, I mean, we're yeah, look, it's giving people enough value to because I guess with the yearly, you've got to provide enough value for people to, when that does tick around for them to want to subscribe and pay
Mhm.
on, right? So,
Mhm.
for us, it was just being disciplined with the value that we're delivering
Mm.
and just, making sure that we stick to the plan that we actually lay out. So, if we're saying that we're delivering this type of value, then it's making sure that we actually
Of
do
course.
that month in,
Yeah.
month out, especially having monthly
Mhm.
subscribers now. If you're not delivering, month in, month out, then people can easily just,
Drop off.
unsubscribe.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's really having that discipline, holding each other accountable to the type of
Mm.
content that you're saying that you're going to deliver. And
Mhm.
yeah,
Yeah.
just holding
Yeah.
holding firm on that.
And when you say like hold yourself accountable to the content that you want to deliver for you guys in order to get these people like resubscribing and staying on month after month, month after year, is it really just like what is it? Adding more products, adding in a community, having you and other coaches going in there and giving advice every day. How you know outside of your course, what can people actually be doing if they had a gun to their head that they have to keep people in like 1 or 2, 3 years? What were you guys doing to making sure that it's active and people are staying on, like specifically?
So one thing that we've done recently is actually the opposite of expanding our offering. It's actually contracting it because we found that we were overexposed in terms of the type of content that we're trying to deliver. We're saying we're going to do this, all this stuff on stocks, all this stuff on ETFs, all this stuff on
Mm-hmm.
NFTs, all this stuff on crypto, and it was just we, we we didn't have the resources to be able to deliver on
Yeah.
that as well as we'd
Yeah.
like to.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's actually then contracting and pulling that back into, all right, what are the most valuable aspects of our platform that people stay on for? And that's done through surveys, through conversations with our members as well,
Yeah.
finding out what they actually want and
Mm-hmm.
what they actually get value out of, and then focusing our attention on building those things out. So rather
Yeah.
than building content and material that we think is useful and valuable to the community, it's reverse engineering that, so being
Instantly.
like more community led with the type
Mm-hmm.
of content you're creating rather than
Nice.
just creating what you think
Yeah.
is relevant.
Yep. Yep. And how many people do you have inside? Like subscribe to the platform right now?
So we're about 15, 14, 1400,
Yeah. Amazing.
1500 there.
Damn. That's super dope, man. What I want to get into, because like you guys had that like crazy. I remember like me and you were mates. I think maybe just after this or just before, but this like meteoric rise where all the stars aligned. Crypto was going crazy. Like your Instagram was actually popping off, and then you had that like 6K, 6-figure launch day. How right now, if someone was starting from scratch, would you grow an Instagram like to be able to get customers for a course platform without ads? Kind of, if you had a blank account, 0 followers, how would you use Instagram to kind of start generating sales for you know, an info product platform?
Yeah, I think well, it's like just in our business and multiple other businesses that I've seen from friends around me is that I think it's so important to have to build a community first and then build a product off that. I think
Mm,
that's like
yeah.
if you don't have one, then obviously if you've already built a product that you obviously have to go back and build a
Mhm,
community. But I think being able to build a community first and then leverage your product off the back of that is extremely valuable.
Mm.
So what I think is, builds an amazing community these days is just authenticity. Like, I think just being raw and real is just cuts through so much bullshit as well. So, like, a really big thing that got a lot of attention early on for us was, it was something that was not really done in the space, and that was just showing results. We showed all our losses, we showed all our wins, and people really like to see not just the wins, because I think so many people in this space will just talk about, all the wins that they made. They'll,
Look at my Lambo.
yeah. It's so much,
Yeah.
so much BS, there's so much fluff. People can, what's the word I'm trying to think of? Like, sort of artificially create results that, and so I think being able to
inflate results maybe was the word you're looking for. Is that right?
that works 100%.
Yeah, all right, there you go. Nice.
Yeah.
Copywriter here. Yeah.
You are a very good copywriter. But yeah, look, I think being able to show losses, like we showed massive losses, and I think that was just going, hey, look, these guys are real. They're not, and this is the reality of the market. Like, it's unrealistic to think you're going to have a win every day. Like, it just doesn't happen. You're going to have wins and losses. And so I think, being authentic with that really got some really good traction. So yeah, just like looking at your competitors and just seeing, where can you get cut through? Like, where is there, gaps in the story that they're telling, and where is there an opportunity for you to, I guess, connect with people in your audience in particular on a level that's more realistic to them. So yeah, I think that's a really big one. But yeah, I think and then it's one of our biggest, like, Instagram for us was our number one driver of leads for the first year, really. We would just create so much value through stories, through posts, that it would just be like a furnace. It would just warm people up, warm them up until eventually they'd just drop into our inbox. But it's just being consistent with your posting and just delivering as much value as possible. Like, don't think you have to hold on to everything and keep it behind a payment gateway. Because, at the end of the day, you can we could split up our whole course and launch it over, 50 different posts if we wanted to. Like, nobody's actually going to sit there and piece it all together and go, I don't have to do your course anymore.
Like, no, totally. That makes sense.
Like, you're still going to have value, added value, obviously, behind closed doors, but just don't be afraid to get more out there than would probably feel natural to.
Yeah. And currently, so obviously, you guys blew up on Instagram, had that 6-figure launch. Currently, what are your different marketing channels to keep driving users to this platform?
So our major one at the moment has been B2B2C channels. So finding partners that have a similar audience to what we're targeting, and then being able to create unique partnerships off the back of that to be able to. So, like, crypto exchanges, for example, we've got partners. So we've got a couple of different partners there, which has been awesome for us, because when you're looking at exchanges, one of their biggest drivers is their main driver is trading fees, right? So the more that people trade, the more money that they make. How do you get somebody to trade more? Well, it's education, it's research, right? It's giving them confidence to be able to actually do that. So that's where we've been able to come in, provide a lot of value to their clients. And also, so it goes sort of both ways there. We're helping them make a lot more revenue with, the trading activity, but they're also coming in, they're pushing clients our way to be able to give them more confidence and more understanding around what they're actually doing. So
wow. So basically what you're doing is, obviously you have your own marketing, but the way you're selling this course now, or an option, is like you're going after people that have the same target audience and doing a partnership or some kind of JV, and then they just share their audience with you and you deliver value to them. That's basically
100%. So there's an equal exchange of value. Everybody wins. But we're then able to expand our audience from, having whatever we have into their audience. So these exchanges that we're dealing with have, half a million users, right? So it's
And then what actually happens? So if they have 500,000 users, it's like, are they just like sharing you guys on Instagram to a sales page? They're giving you a shout out on Instagram, all the above. What is the actual mechanic where they share your stuff with them?
Range of different things. So
Mm,
we've just created an Australian first learn to earn product on the second biggest crypto exchange in Australia. So we were the first ones to launch a course through there. So
man,
we
congrats, dude. That's awesome.
thanks, man. Yeah, it
Yeah.
was really exciting. So yeah, this learn to earn model hasn't been done in Australia before. So these guys were the first, and we were, we're the first ones to bring out that course with them. So this is essentially where somebody can come on, they can do our course, and they earn Bitcoin to be able to by completing it. So
Wow.
what they get, because we actually built it as a fundamental analysis course. So somebody's coming through this course, they're gaining more confidence. So right, they're going to be more, they're going to have more of an understanding and yeah, like I said, more confidence to be able to come in and make
Yeah.
a
More
trade
likely to
um,
invest. Yeah.
and invest further. But at the end of that, there's also a call to action that goes to start a 14-day free trial with us, right? So we've just had, we've had about 1,700 people just do this course. We've still another 2,500 that are going to be going through.
Man,
We just launched it like a week ago, so it's really fresh.
this
Um,
let
and
yeah, yeah. Sorry,
so
sorry,
yeah.
sorry. No. You're blowing my mind. I got like 1,000 questions to ask you. So yeah, yeah.
So yeah, so off the back of that, they complete the course, they get the $5 of free Bitcoin, they then see, oh cool, there's a 14-day free trial to learn more about the guys who've just created this course. They then come to us. So then yeah, we've had a heap of people come through from that as well. So they're all going through their 14-day trial at the moment. So
Damn.
that's
Damn. What you yeah, man. That is so genius because even I remember like ages ago, back I don't know if you did this course, but I feel like every entrepreneur has done it. But the SMMA social media marketing agency Ty Lopez course,
done it,
and
man.
something you've
I
done,
did it.
bro.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
the
we did
gateway.
it.
It's a gateway drug into it,
It
man.
is.
But anyway, what he did, which is obviously super smart, is like he wouldn't even teach his courses, right? So he would have social media marketing. He would get, the best at Instagram, the best at, whatever, Facebook lead ads generating. And then these guys would have courses that they sold on the back. And I ended up buying 2 or 3 courses from Ty Lopez's course. It's like, oh, hey, what's up, man? Like, I just showed you about Instagram. You can buy my, Instagram course below. And I just bought it. So I think even for current course creators, like what you're doing is so smart, where it's like, okay, where's my audience already going? Can I, give away a course for free, or give away, 1 or 2 lessons for free to their audience inside their course, inside their platform, use that to kind of build trust, leverage their audience, and then, eventually upsell or sell trials to my higher ticket paid product.
So, mate, yeah, I think that's what you just said there is just leverage. Like that's the key word that we've really
Yeah.
tried to focus on, right? Like if you're
Leverage,
going to be
man.
putting in this effort and
Mhm.
creating it for your small audience, where else can you plug that into where
So
you can gain further exposure to? So, yeah, that's where we've looked at a heap of different partners. But yeah, there's one in particular that we're working with, which is it's kind of like the bit of a unicorn. So we're just gonna keep working with these guys and blowing that
man,
up.
that's it. Yeah, that sounds like the biggest hack ever. It's like, you know why try and get your own customers if someone's already got them? Just go to them. Can we
Yeah.
can we zone in on specifics, right? So if someone's listening and they're about to launch a product, or they have an existing product and they want to use this kind of partnership leverage strategy, I just made that up.
I love it.
How would you go out and kind of find these partners? Like how do you negotiate? How would you offer value? How would you do it if you're starting kind of back at square one?
I think you need, like, first of all, it's identifying, like, you need to understand what your target market is. That's
Mhm.
first and foremost. So you actually know what partners have a
Yep.
similar audience to you. So that's
Mhm.
first of all understanding your own how your own house should be run, and then it's going out. Now you want to try and find the pain points of the partners that you do have. So for us, like, it came through multiple conversations with exchanges around what they were missing. And for them, the missing link between somebody signing up to their platform and potentially just dropping off, or somebody signing up to the platform and actually having the confidence to trade, was education. Education was literally the missing link, right? So we were able to identify through conversations that this was our focus point. This is the pain point that we were able to solve for these exchanges, right? So then we're then able to come in with a pitch that was all catered around this. Okay, like that's the main revenue driver. Why aren't people trading? Why aren't they following up?
Interesting.
It's
So
because
you're
of lack of
solving the
confidence. They don't
problem
do.
for the so you're solving the problem for the other company as well as solving the problem. So it's like, in order for someone to invest on a platform, in order for someone to get, some kind of, business license or whatever, they need to learn certain education. It's like, okay, I'll just give it to you. And then, if they want more, they can kind of pay me. That's genius.
100%. Yeah. Yeah, because you need to come in with value. Like if you're just trying to come in for a grab,
Yeah.
like, so like if you're trying to talk to the decision maker, like, founder or CEO from the start, like it's even worth trying to engage with people around them first. Like, see if you can connect on LinkedIn, see if you can meet up through a friend of a friend, whatever that is, because that's exactly what we did, right? That was how we're able to gain the intel that we needed.
Nice.
The people on the ground, the people doing sales, the people doing support, like what are the issues that they're seeing, and that would allow us to create a story and an angle that would make sense to be able to partner together on. So
yeah, nah, man, that is super dope. So I'm keen to go back into some of the marketing stuff. So you guys have like generated over 7 figures from this single product, and it's came mostly from Instagram at the start. So let's go back into Instagram. Aside from being authentic, kind of sharing things and giving value, can we get, maybe it depends niche, but like specifically what strategy, what kind of stuff would you be posting? How would you be planning content? Kind of almost give us like the roadmap where if we have 0 followers and we're about to launch a product, how to, get that audience, get those followers as quickly as possible. What are we doing? How often are we posting reels, stories, freaking DMs? Kind of give us the the blueprint you guys are using or used.
So one of the biggest things, one of the biggest strategies that we used was, and it's kind of unique in a way. Like, I don't think like the way that it sort of came about was through AFL players for us, actually. So we had probably about 80 AFL players on our platform, and so we would essentially exchange our time and also memberships to our platform for them to be able to post on their socials, right?
Wow.
They're making a heap of money, they're getting a heap of value, so they're happy to, right?
Sick.
Footy players, they spend a lot of time together, right? And when they are making money, they all talk, and that's how I was able to just spread like wildfire through change rooms, and all of a sudden it went through teams. And so this is so like we're talking about leveraging those partnerships. We're leveraging their audiences now, right? So we've now had access to whatever 1.5, 2 million people through these footy players. So that just expanded from our small audience to their
Wow.
hundreds of thousands of people there. So that was a really big strategy that we implemented at the start. That really was a huge contributor to the early success.
Interesting. And how maybe some of them came to you, but basically what you're doing is like influencer marketing for online courses, right?
Yeah.
How would you go about like finding influencers, reaching out to them, DMing them, getting them to post? Would you pay? Would you do it for free? Obviously, it depends niche to niche. But if someone does have a product, maybe they don't want to try ads yet, they're growing their Instagram. How would you use like influencers to to be able to sell these their online course?
So how we like, I wouldn't do it that way again we would engage in something similar, but I'd do a little bit more authentically as well. Like we're actually working on something that's going to be like an Australian first. So I can't say too much on it yet, but
Okay.
it's around just like working with these guys on a much deeper level and being able to share the story. So it's not just, you know, them sharing a post or sharing, yeah, but it's actually, you know, showing, like sitting down with them, taking them through classes one-on-ones, is actually, you know, showing them through the platform, working it into their day-to-day, showing, you know, their audience how, you know, on the go, on the way to work, they've checked our platform out, and just like making a lot more, a lot more organic than, you know, just putting up a post.
Just
So
post me on Instagram. Yeah.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So it's
So
just
you're
more of a
building.
lifestyle, but also
Got it.
showing that that person isn't just posting because they've got a subscription, that they're posting because they actually use
Yeah.
this and they actually
Yeah.
want to learn and they are learning. So I'll probably go less of a volume play, more focus on just, you know, a few people that have the right sort of audiences, and sort of
Yeah.
warm up that way. So more quality
Yeah.
over quantity. So
And you're really going deeper in terms of, you know, oh, here's a free product post. It's like, you know, let me work with you, let me jump on a call, let me help you. What do you need? And really kind of like giving them amazing that experience, because
yeah,
they're one of those stories where it's like, fuck, man, I went through Zach. It's crazy. That is so much more powerful than probably like 100 just like screenshots of like, oh,
yeah,
hey, you know,
yeah,
check
yeah.
this out. You know, like I've been paid for this. Yeah.
Exactly.
Um,
It worked. It worked, and it worked quite well. Why that worked quite well is because there's a lot of hype around the space at the moment, and everybody was talking about crypto, right? So
mhm,
as soon as I
mhm,
got some sort of
mhm.
validation that, okay, cool, this guy's making money, cool. What's this platform? Boom, I'm in. So it was a bit more easy to convert there. But when you're in, especially in these market conditions, having more of a real, like, yeah, like we said before, organic, authentic sort of journey. That's sort of what it takes, and
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
in a market like this.
Yeah, sure, man. Well, I'm curious, in addition to influencers, Instagram, these kind of awesome partnerships that you're doing, in terms of growth and like customer acquisition, are there any other channels, are there any other strategies you guys are doing or have been doing um, to get awesome results?
Yeah, so I mean, we've gone through like a few agencies. Yeah, we found like we just didn't get, we just pissed a heap of money up the walls through a heap
Hmm.
of agencies there. So not that there's definitely some great ones out there, and but we just didn't find the right fit for us. So that was something that we trialed, and yeah, had a lot of trials and errors. Learned a lot from it. Spent a lot on it, but yeah. So that was one thing that we've explored. Um, yeah, then it's just, you know, we've done a lot of giveaways as well, so that's been, you know, like partnering with brands to do giveaways on that. So that's been a really good way to build engagement and sort of cross pollinate different audiences there. So that's been one thing. You know, we've done sales. That was huge to be able to generate a heap of activity. We built up a lot of hype around them, obviously doing. Um, you know, limited time offers and you know, more time frames around certain deals. So that was something that built a lot of scarcity and urgency. Um, in terms of other channels, what else have we done? Just
You're
thinking
doing
back.
TikTok for a while. I remember, I think
Oh
just
yeah.
before I left, you're banging out TikToks. How was that as a acquisition channel?
Oh, it wasn't. Well, there's definitely more work we could do on Instagram. Like, oh, sorry,
Mm,
on TikTok. That Well, yeah, there's room for improvement there. We're probably we don't post for TikTok, we post for Instagram, and then yeah, we move those posts across to TikTok.
yeah.
Maybe not the right way to do it, but yeah. So that was LinkedIn's been quite a big one as well. We're quite consistent with our posting there as well. Gary V, I don't know if you've heard his biggest channel is LinkedIn these days.
Really,
That's
man.
where.
Let's go into this. Let's go into so how do you sell courses through LinkedIn?
Well, I mean, like our audience is, it's more like building credibility. Like we don't sell like, uh, it's not super salesy through LinkedIn. It's definitely a
Okay.
different,
Okay.
right? It's a
Okay.
different take. You don't want to, if you're coming across sales in
Of course.
LinkedIn,
Of course. Of
you're
course.
going to get
Of course.
slammed.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, so yeah, it's definitely a different approach, but it's where we've been able to build a lot of credibility,
Yeah.
through posting articles, through insights, through just,
Yeah. Hmm. Hmm.
and because at the end of the like our audience is also on LinkedIn, like we're
Yeah.
targeting like young professionals, 25 to
Hmm. Hmm.
35, like
Hmm.
that's that's where a lot of them sit, right? It's
Hmm.
and so
Hmm.
yeah, I think it definitely to have a multi-channel approach is key.
Hmm.
So um yeah, we could be doing more on TikTok. I agree, but yeah, we've got Instagram and LinkedIn working in
LinkedIn.
tandem
Yeah.
there very well.
Yeah.
So
And yeah. And then in terms of like the content types on these platforms, is it the same ideas and kinds of content from Instagram and LinkedIn, just in different formats? So like, maybe this is a reel, and then LinkedIn is a, a text post. How do you come up? I guess my question is, how do you come up with like content ideas? What content types tend to do well across platforms, and how do you differentiate content between LinkedIn, Instagram, uh, whatever platform?
yeah, I think LinkedIn's probably a little bit more about building credibility, like like showcasing you with partners, awards, events, like a range of different things there. But it's also providing, a lot of value through insights. Instagram's more about sharing things that are trending, that probably more clips from our podcast. We'll probably post less of that on LinkedIn. Yeah, it's I'm trying to think how to actually separate it. My business partner, he takes care of most of
Mm.
the posting, so he would be
Okay,
better to
cool.
talk about
Yeah.
this.
Nah, good, good. I'll get him on. Yeah.
Get him on as well,
Twins.
mate.
Nice,
Cover
nice.
this aspect of the business with him.
No, no, good, good, good. That's cool. But yeah, that's crazy what you guys are doing. Do you have any you know, crazy stories around, or around kind of growth? Obviously, you had that 100K day. Do you want to tell me, like, what it was growing after that initial launch, during that, like, massive hype period, getting to like 1,000 users?
Mm. Yeah, so that was pretty steady. Yeah, from the launch, we obviously had a big spike at the start.
Mm.
We recalibrated it. It was kind of just like spikes throughout the year. It was very, if you pretty much to look at, it was very in line with the markets as well, which is what we didn't
Interesting.
really want, but it's what
Yeah,
happened.
yeah,
Like you
yeah.
want people to rush in when markets are low, not
Mm.
when they're peaking. So unfortunately, when a lot of people like to get into the market. So, um, but yeah, look, it was catering for that. So that was definitely it was a pretty strong trajectory. We were able to build up to 1,000 members over the first 12 months. So that's sort of where we got to with that, and yeah, obviously it's just been building ever since. So yeah, we're really just gearing up now for the next run. We've stripped a lot of things back. So I think we've rebuilt our platform 3 times already. Like
Yeah.
every time I've got to it and we've released it, we're like, this is the best thing in the world. And I look at it a month
Sick.
later, I'm like,
It's like,
I,
yeah.
I hate it. I hate
Yeah,
it.
yeah, yeah,
There's so
yeah.
much more we
Totally,
can do.
man. I feel that. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
So it's a never ending beast, but yeah, like we've just launched our app, and we're making this whole experience so much more accessible than ever before. So
That's
really
awesome.
we're really excited for the next run as well.
It's huge, man. That's super exciting, man. I'm keen to check it out. With so someone listening, if they want to launch a online course, or an online program, or community, and they're in the process, I guess, after your 2 or 3 years of like crazy success and experience, what advice would you give them? Kind of what roadmap would you give them to be able to go full time on on their idea?
I would say like, yeah, just don't stress too much about perfection when it comes to building courses. I think
Mhm,
we probably spend too much time worrying about every single detail, and it
mhm.
probably slowed down because we brought out a couple. We've probably brought out 6 courses now. I think we could have done it a lot faster as well, and like you still want to be able to keep the quality there 100%, but in terms of just being an absolute perfectionist, like people don't care about like they just want good content, good delivery, something that looks sharp.
Mhm.
Um, but yeah, you don't have to go and spend, $100,000 on creating a course, right? So you can be fast and fluid with that, which I know that you are incredibly good at doing, mate. You're the
All right.
but yeah, in terms of building a course, like, yeah, I think it's just building a community first. I think it's just going back to
Mhm.
that. So you're making sure that you're building a course that people actually want, not what you think people want. Because you got at the end of the day, once you've built this thing, you need people to sell it to as well, right?
Of course.
So it's around knowing your audience, being able to, build that audience, knowing that they actually want it, being able to do like just surveys through Instagram, right? If that's where your audience is sitting, just like you don't have to slam them with 100 questions at once. You can drip feed them questions over, weeks, months, but you're gathering data. You're understanding what people actually want to see. Posting heaps of teasers. Then once you are producing it as well to get to build that hype, that was something that we did lots of as well. And then once you've put this work in to produce a course that you've got an audience there that wants it. So um, yeah, I think that's probably the biggest thing is, yeah, just making sure you've got people who actually want to buy your course.
Love it.
So
That's awesome, man. That was a ton of value. I'm happy to wrap there. We can chat afterwards. We need like a D&M catch up anyway. But
for sure.
where can people find you? If they want to learn more about you, more about investing.
Yeah, awesome. So you can check us out on Instagram at Get Investified, or you can check us out on our website as well, which is investified .com.au. So yeah, that's probably
Nice.
two best places.
Love it, Zach. Well, man, appreciate you jumping on. A ton of value. As always, my mind is blown by a lot of that stuff, especially the partnership thing is so genius. So yeah, I'm sure everyone got a ton of value, and thanks for coming on, man. It was good to do this.
Easy, man. Absolute pleasure. Great to see you again.
Shit.